Hello, welcome back to the Fish Locker Workshop. Oh, it's been like Christmas. I have been lucky enough to get my hands on a new reel. It's been sent to me. The lads just sent it to me and just said, have a use of this. Tell us what you think. So it's going to be an experience. Like I said, I've only just got it out of the box. I've only just put line on it now, so I can't give you any examples of pros and cons yet. I'm going to use it and then make this video as it goes. It's the Akios Nitron. First, as soon as it comes out of the box, I like these little neoprene bags. Don't cost much, but I tell you what, it makes a difference. When you get a reel and it's got one of these, you think, oh, nice one. When you get a reel without one, you think, oh, Jesus, could have put a bag in there, couldn't you? First thing, looking at it, it's dipped. It looks like carbon fibre. It doesn't look too bad. First glance, black and shiny red metallic. When my wife first saw it, she went, "Ooh, that looks nice." If that ranks high on your list of reasons to buy a reel, "Ooh, that looks nice," then 10 out of 10 straight away. Me personally, I think it's a little bit gaudy. It's just my opinion. I'm just bare basics is me. Substance over style. What that tells you. I like these. I'm going to fish this up against a Slosh 30, a Daiwa Slosh 30. This is my go-to reel. I am going to fish this in all the same scenarios that I fish this, and I'm going to, some type of benchmark point, I'm going to measure it up against that. All I've filled it with is I've filled it with 40-pound H-Pock braid. So it's not the best braid in the world. It's quite thick. It got a good distance on it. I can't tell you exactly how long it is because I haven't measured it yet. I just filled it. It does say I'll probably say 200 yards on there easy. And then I don't know if you can see that, I've FG knotted a 40-pound mono leader on. Immediately looking at the two of them, between this and that, it feels a lot smaller, even though it isn't a lot smaller. If you look at it sideways on, they're almost identical. It's only when you put them like that that you see that this is smaller. The spool is considerably smaller as well. I'd say probably maybe 20% smaller. It does say on the side of here, when you can read it against the light, it says 86 centimetres per turn of the handle. Right, I tried that. And I can say that when the spool is full, one turn of the handle is 86 centimetres. When the spool is nearly empty, it's going to be less, isn't it? It's going to be a lot less. The mag system, I'm not a tournament caster. I won't play around with it very much. I can't tell you an awful lot about it until I've used it a lot. We will see. Time will tell with that one. But the ratchet, the bailer, spool on, free spool, feels pretty crisp. The ratchet on the side, that feels pretty crisp. The star drag, that's not bad. It feels quite smooth, and I like it when it clicks up in increments. Like these ones here, these don't. It's just tight or loose. The handle, you've got a nice size handle on it, and if you notice, like the grip is slightly offset. I don't know if that's going to make much of a difference, but we will see. First impression, it wouldn't be the type of reel that I would buy, because I don't go for things that look good. I go for things that have been proven by test of time. We will see. I hope it will change my mind. We will see. I'm going to try it on the shore, hard ground. I'm going to try it on a boat inshore, and if I can, I'm going to try it on a boat on the reefs and see if it'll handle something a bit bigger. But it feels like the size of it would be a good size for casting with. Whereas these can be a bit bulky to get your hand around. This is only a little. It feels like it would be a good reel to get hold of. There isn't more I can tell you because I haven't used it yet. I don't know anyone who can put a review out having just picked it up and they haven't tested it. Oh, we'll take them. They're beasts, them ones. Throw them back, Ray. Right, well, I've had this now for a couple of months. And I've given it a good, test, I feel. It's, I don't know how folks can have, I've seen quite a few reviews of this going up. And I've contacted the guys at Akios and I've just said to them, I said, look, do you want me to put my review up? I've given them my feedback. There was a lot of people that brought these reviews out within minutes of picking the reel up. And I was thinking, how can you honestly give a proper review of something when you haven't even properly used it? So I fished this up alongside everywhere where I use a Daiwa Slosh 30. So I fished it from the boat on shallow reefs, looking for conger and bullous. Landed some little eels, landed some little bullous, nothing massive, but you can only catch what's there. I used it inshore on the sandbanks, and I've had thornback rays on it. Yeah, didn't really push it to the limit, but it handled them fine. Casting it from the boat with an uptider, yeah, it's a nice clean casting reel. Tried it on the shore as well. Tried it rough ground fishing for congers from the shore. Didn't land any congers. I mean, I can't exactly say I've tested this reel out hard when all I've been catching on it is dogfish, pouting and whiting. But I took it to the field as well, and I casted it. Put probably 30 casts behind it, and I aren't a multiplier caster. I aren't a great caster with multipliers, which is why I fish fixed spools on my shore rods. This, I've got to say, I don't know as much as other people, but I found that I struggled to mess it up. Out of 30 casts, I thought, right, last one, I'll really try and snatch it. I'll try and bird's nest it, and I could. It, yeah, I burnt all my thumb up and I parted it off. It failed miserably. It was spectacularly even. But I had to actually try to mess the cast up. It was very forgiving. Right, my gripes. The first thing I'm going to say, and like I mentioned at the start when I first took it out of the box, is the size of the spool. Now, I don't know why they did that. I don't know why they made it with big shoulders, because immediately you've cut down on possibly 80 yards of capacity on there. Also, on the edge of this, you've got almost a little ridge where your line can catch. Now, I fed this back to the guys at Akios, and they said, actually, that's been fed back to us by quite a few people. There is a modification. So hopefully that will have solved that problem. I mean, immediately by making the larger spool without the shoulders in, you've increased the capacity, so that's that. I don't like this offset bit of a handle, because when you go and try and get hold of it in a hurry, yeah, 6 or 7 times out of 10 you get hold of it the wrong way and it just feels weird in your hand. Whereas if you just have a symmetrical one, or even just like a big ball, just like a fat handle that you can just, when you want to get your rod real quick when there's a strike or something, when you just want to be able to get hold of it and wind, they were maybe trying something new. But for me personally, I don't like it. Also, the finish. It seems to be a bit of a Marmite thing with people. Some folks love how it looks. Some folks thinks it looks a bit tacky. I'm not. I'm more about substance than style, as you can probably tell by looking at me. Some people might love it. I'm not sold on it personally. Also, this dip, this coating what they've got on it, if I was going to be using this as a rough ground reel, it's going to get knocked over, it's going to get scratched, it's going to get dinged. I imagine that this would look quite tatty once it's got a couple of nicks in it. Again, I fed this back to the guys and they said, actually, well, they've mixed it with a new compound, so it is more durable now, which is good. the next thing, which is more me personal preference wise, and I'll show you. When I'm fishing these on the boat, or even when I'm on the shore, I hold it there like that to guide the line on the reel. For me personally, when I'm winding this in like that and I'm guiding the line on the reel like that, this is right in the way. There, look. Now, I aren't a big caster. I don't really need that. On the slosh, you can see you don't have it. Now, for people that need it, yeah, all right, I understand why it's there. I understand its purpose. I fed that back to the guys at Akios, and they said, "Oh, you're the first person to ever say that." So maybe it is just me. But what I would do is I would say that this type of reel, it isn't for me. I wouldn't go out and buy one of these because again, like I say, these are absolutely bomb-proof. This thing, it looks like more of a finely tuned piece of kit. I know from experience that these can be kicked about all over the rocks, they can be absolutely battered, and they still work perfectly. And they cost a fraction of these. I think I could probably, I could probably buy 3 of these for 1 of these. Now for me, that would mean that this would have to be 3 times the reel. For what I use it for, it isn't 3 times the reel. If you are a big caster, if you like fishing on clean beaches where you're going to use a low diameter line and you're going to absolutely blast it, and you're going to need all this fancy gubbins, it might be for you. For me personally, for the way that I use it, and I matched it up against what I already use, I thought it's going to have to be very good to make me want to change, and it's not good enough. There are some fantastic parts about it. I mean, it is very crisp, and it could be a nice reel. One of the things that, like I said, I also fed back was about the handle. They have told me that they are going to be bringing out a power handle. So all I would say is, right now, as things stand, this reel, this is the early stages. This is what they've just brought out, what they've given to the testers. I am told by other anglers and by Akios that they do listen to reviews, so they are making modifications. The jury will be out on whether or not the modifications solve all the problems, but if they're at least willing to change and they're willing to listen to the feedback, then that at least shows that they're a company that's about the angler. The fish that it landed, it didn't really put it to the test. What can you do? It's a nice reel. I'll have to let you make your own minds up on it. But there it is. Oh, I tried it with both braid and with mono. Casting with mono was easier than braid, obviously, but on the boat I always used braid, so that's why I used it with braid. I paced it out, and I was averaging between 100 and 150 yards with just an overhead thump cast. That for me, that's as good as I get with the slosh. I can get further with my fixed spools, but then again, like I say, I prefer fixed spools. The capacity that I managed to get on here, I would say, is probably excess of 200 yards, and this is £40. This is £40 age pock braid, so it's not the thinnest stuff, but this is what I use on the boat. I hope this helps. Have a good one.